Hi, my name is Dave Camwell. I am Associate Professor of Saxophone and Jazz Studies at Troy University. And this is, I suppose, an online masterclass about the 2018 Alabama All-State Etudes. Here we have the slow etude of the two. Just some things to keep in mind. Usually for saxophone players, especially alto players, that fourth line D is a little bit sharp. So you can add the low B key to that, and I would recommend having a tuner and really going over every note of your horn, making a tuning chart and seeing what the tendencies are and seeing if there's any mechanical fixes that you can do for that. But D is one of the notes that is quite often out of tune on the horn. The same thing too with the half step below C sharp, which is often flat, particularly on alto, so you can raise that with third finger and octave key, or side C or side B flat, or some combination of those. So intonation, of course, very important on fast or slow things, but certainly there's some opportunities to do that here in this etude. So the first thing I would say about both of these etudes is to practice with metronome. Very, very important. I think people should do that more. And if you find it helpful, at least for the beginning, even put it to an eighth note subdivision. In the slow etude, a lot of the interesting rhythmic elements are sort of playing between the duple and triple times. There's a lot of eighth notes to triplets, or sextuplets to then eighth notes, or straight 16th notes. So make sure that you have a lot of distinction in your playing and a lot of exactness about the rhythm that you find there. In the second section, Puimoso, of course, it's slightly faster. Probably the loudest section of the three all the way through, with some nice dynamic contours that are available and do happen through there. But you should be playing quite full, and it's probably the most technically interesting part from the duple to triple selection. And then in the third part, the tempo primo, there's lots of turns. So if you see there in bar 22, you see that kind of looks like a sideways S. S on its side, so a turn. So that would be, so you start on the note on B3, that's D, and then E, D, C sharp, D, and then up to the B. And then for the next bar, you see the G up to the C with the turn. So that's G, A, G, F sharp, G, and then to C. Now, there's a lot of tricky parts with these grace notes that happen in bar 24, 26, 27. And what I would recommend you do is practice it first without the ornaments. So an ornament should never affect the innate rhythm that you're trying to do. It's really just something that sort of is an additive effect. So if you can be really accurate on the triplets and all of those rhythms that are happening in that last section without any ornaments added, that's a really good basis to be successful. And then from that point, as soon as you get comfortable, then of course start adding them in, perhaps one at a time. I would also recommend bar 22, 23, be subdividing in your head in triplets. That'll make, when you get to the third bar of tempo primo, it'll make that a lot easier to come in. I would also say take a big breath when you are able. There's some really long phrases here. If you can, it'd be great if you could go from bar 22 all the way to the mid part of 28, but you could also breathe as well before B4 on bar 25. Keep in mind the dynamics. There's a lot of specificity in these, so I would suggest that you get a tuner app on your phone, or some way of recording something like Tunable or Tonal Energy, and record yourself and listen back and sort of be your own objective critic, and be hearing things that work well and things that you can continue to improve upon. You might also play along with this recording, and that should help speed up the learning process as well. But eventually you want to do it without, of course. It's simply a crutch, and you will be playing without metronome as well. So use these tools, but play along, and with metronome. Feel free to use them as a learning device, but just remember, it's you won't be performing these with those as well. So it's really just a way to learn them a little bit quicker and with more efficiency. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the recording, and I hope you found this useful. You can always contact me if you have any questions or anything about Troy University, of course, at dcamwell@troy.edu. Thanks so much.